I want to talk about the state of Maine. I don't talk about it that often, but it deserves an analysis because of some courageous and innovative things that are going on there in the realm of economics. Maine is becoming a very interesting place. On the one hand, it has arguably the most right-wing governor in the whole country. On the other hand, it is doing things that are very progressive, and its legislature and its people are in the forefront of such things. In 2016, for example, voters approved ballot proposals to raise the state's minimum wage, to raise taxes on the wealthy to fund education, and to legalize marijuana. Kind of interesting that the state of Maine would do that. But that wouldn't have been enough for me to bring it to your attention. I wanted to make it clear that these progressive steps are the result of systematic, organized political work being done by the Maine People's Alliance. They are the ones who deserve the credit for raising these issues, for educating the Maine population about them, reaching all over the state, explaining what's going on. And they've just launched another campaign as a way for committed, interested people to really make a difference. Here's what they're going to do. They are going to put another landmark issue on the 2018 ballot. They call it Universal Home Care for the Disabled and the Elderly. Maine, out of the 50 states, has the highest median age. In other words, it has a disproportionately large number of elderly and probably also disabled citizens. Caring for this aging population is expensive. The median annual cost for home care is over $50,000 per year. And that's about on a par with Maine's median income for an entire household. If a household depends on $50,000 a year, how in the world are they ever going to pay to take care of an elderly mother or father, etc., when it costs the total amount? And what's worse is that Medicare does not cover the costs of in-home care. And the Medicaid reimbursement rates are so poor that employers are unwilling or unable to find workers who will do the work for the low level of reimbursement offered by Medicare. So the problem is, how are you going to care for the elderly, which is, after all, one of the ways you measure how well an economic system serves the people who live in it? The Maine People's Alliance proposes to do the following. If the vote passes, it will raise $132 million to take care of a proper maintenance for the elderly and the disabled. How would they raise the $132 million? A payroll tax of 1.9% levied only on annual salaries and wages above $127,000 per year, and a 3.7% tax on investment income, again, only if it is more than $127,000 a year. In other words, these are taxes, very small, but targeted at the rich. Why the $127,000? That's the maximum upon which Social Security is withheld from your check. Social Security system works by taking a certain percentage from you, matched by your employer, but only up to the first $127,000. Which means if you're very wealthy and you earn above that, all of the money you earn above that, which can add up to millions, has no Social Security tax taken from it. So it struck the people in Maine as reasonable, since those who earn a lot escape in much of their income from the taxes of Social Security, and therefore it also follows that the very wealthy are not affected by sales taxes the way low and middle income people are, because if you're very rich and have a big income, the sales taxes you pay are a small percentage compared to what they would be if you're not rich. So taking all this into account, they've decided to tax those who are most able to pay, the same principle that governs the income tax, the federal income tax in the United States. And given the success they've had in the past, it will be very interesting to see whether this program of taxing only the richest to provide something that the whole of society will benefit from, namely care for the elderly and the disabled, will it succeed in the state of Maine?